of me and my hair. And I just wanted to take this moment to honestly just thank each and every one of you for being here tonight on the first ever virtual book launch of Me and My Hair. I really just wanted this to be a night of, reflection and things like that. Just kind of figuring out, how does your hair tell its story of kind of where you've been through and what you've been through. I remember for me, one of the biggest things for me when I was growing up was my nightly prayers. And those prayers honestly consisted of, God, thank you for my mom, thank you for my dad. And then boom, God, don't forget, I really want big, long, luscious hair, and it was always like that. Fast forward, I remember being in a wedding, and I remember they were trying to get my hair to kind of look like the other girls, but I had natural hair. So I remember there was just this big drama around getting my fro to do what it wasn't doing. And I remember even being at the end, I was just kind of miserable about it because it was like this big fro just sitting in the front after all that drama that had happened with just trying to fix my hair, you know what I mean? And it's just one of those things where it's like, it's a learning and growing process with your hair. Even the idea that when I went and got extensions in, literally I thought that the beauty behind extensions was the tighter it was, the more neat it was, the more beautiful it was. Not realizing that the more tighter it is the more follicles that get pulled out, the more bald spots that are created and hairlines that's receded. You know what I mean? It's just one of those, it's one of those things where it's like you learn and you grow. And even high school, I remember every day coming home complaining about not knowing, what am I going to do with my hair? What am I going to do with my hair, right? To the point where I came up with a style, not that I came up with it, but I started doing a style where I parted it down the middle and had twists coming down the sides. So I started rocking that for a while, to the point where people started calling me Coolio. And for those of you that remember Coolio, he always had like the twist coming down the sides. And that's not necessarily the person I wanted to be resembling, but that's kind of where I was at the time with like trying to figure out my hair. And now here we are, I'm a grown woman in the sense that, I've come to really appreciate, love, learn my own hair. And, writing this book has definitely been one of those things that I hope will help other young girls that are going through the same kind of process to feel validated and valued about what they look like and what their hair, what their hair is, and feeling good about that. And so for tonight, I just want you to sit back, relax, chat up in the chat, get to know people, share your own stories even. This is a night of reflection. This is a night of winning prizes, so look out for that. But really, most of all, I am just grateful to each and every one of you for being here, for taking the time out of your busy schedules. And you know what? People still have busy schedules, even though we're in a pandemic and in lockdown. It's crazy. But thank you for taking the time to be here and to show your support. So I'm just truly grateful. So have a great night. All right.
Welcome, friends, families, supporters, viewers, all under the umbrella. My name is Kelton Ollivierre, and I have the pleasure, the honor to interview and speak about this big project by my friend Stephanie Duff. It's going to be an amazing night. You're going to fall in love with the book. You're going to fall in love with the author. You're going to fall in love with the project. But before we start all of that, we're going to have a special blessing by Jaina.
Heavenly Father, thank you for this day and that you made this, and that you'll bless this book, me and my hair. And thank you, Lord, for Auntie Steph. Thank you, Lord, for my mom and my dad. Thank you, Lord, for the beautiful nature to grow and let us grow. Thank you, Lord, for me and the world and the people who love me and take care of me too. Thank you, Lord, for everything. In Jesus' name, amen.
What a nice prayer by Jaina. If that's any indication of the direction that we're going and how much it's going to bless you, then you know the kind of thing that we're going to get into. Tonight, we're going to have a lot of dope stuff. I'm excited. I'm excited to be a part, but I'm excited for you guys to get involved. One of the ways that you're going to get involved tonight is we're going to have hair trivia. right? So the way that you get involved with the hair trivia is we're going to ask a series of questions over the course of the night. And what we want you to do is get all the answers in the correct order and send them to @the Project on Instagram. Once we've gathered all the answers and all the contestants and everybody involved, we're going to contact each person who has won with their prize. The prizes are this: a Rayne shirt with her affirmations, a signed copy of Me and My Hair, and a Rayne mask. If you're interested and you want to get involved, make sure to tune in the whole night, gather all your questions, gather all the answers, and send them to @the Rayne Project on Instagram. A big part of the night is the book. We're really just here for the book. So, what do we need to make sure that we get involved in the book and we're here with the book? We want people to read. We want you to hear the book. So the first person we have to read is Yvette.
Rayne, are you nervous about your first day? Dad asked. A little bit, I said, as I hurried to finish my oatmeal. Well, remember what we always say. You are smart, you are beautiful, and you can overcome anything. I know, Dad, I said as I began to run for the school bus. When I got on the school bus, I found an empty seat and stared out the window and began to think about what my day would be like. Just then, I saw some kids whispering, and when I turned around, I saw them pointing in my direction. They were not laughing at me, were they? I wondered if anything was on my face or on my clothes, but as I looked at my reflection in the window, everything was the same as when I left home. They continued to whisper, and I continued to look out the window, thinking, what are they laughing at? When I got off the bus, I heard a girl say, look at her hair, and another say, it looks so weird. I wanted to say something, but no words came out of my mouth. I got to class, and all I could think about was what those other kids said. Is this what they were laughing at on the bus? My hair? I have always loved when my mom did my hair in Bantu knots. She always said it brought out my beautiful smile, my bright eyes. Well, right now, I have no smile, and my eyes are not very bright.
Welcome back, everybody. This is going to be my very favorite point of the night. It's the point where I get to introduce the world to the amazing author and great friend of mine, Stephanie Duff. So without further ado, I want you guys to pin it in the comments, do a live, everywhere you can. Give a great big applause, a virtual applause to the amazing author and great friend to so many, Stephanie Duff.
Hi, everybody.
I'm not going to keep you guys waiting. Really, I just want us to all get to know Stephanie. She's such a great person. Such a great friend, just a great heart. We're just going to get straight into it. I want everybody to comment in the chat. You can leave your comments and questions in the chat as well. But I want to just get into it. Steph, tell us about yourself.
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm so happy you're here. So about me, I'm a teacher. I've been teaching for 10 plus years now. And I'm currently teaching kindergarten online. Big up all my teachers. Big up all the teachers that are teaching online. It's definitely a difference, but teaching kindergarten online. I love live music. Absolutely love live music. I love singing, and I love good conversation just like this. And I actually like baking cornbread. To be honest with you, I started baking cornbread because I went to Harlem and I went to Sylvia's, and that cornbread was absolutely amazing. And I said, I have to learn how to bake it. So I came back home, learned how to bake it, and so I just love baking cornbread. So that's a little about me.
That's dope. That's dope. Just a small part. If you want to get to know her, I think comment in the chats, get to know her from there as well. But I think one of the most important things that we want to know, Steph, what inspired this book?
What inspired me and my hair? Firstly, I really think that this is a God thing and not a Stephanie thing, because I had no plans to write a book. I had no plans to be an author. I had no plans to write anything. I wasn't one of those kids growing up saying, hey, I want to write a book when I'm older. You know, like that wasn't me. But it really all started from writing a Facebook post. I wrote a Facebook post in October 2019. And I wrote something along the lines of like, oh, there's this young Black girl with natural hair that has this great personality, that has all these great personality and different things about her. And I even talked about it being an animated movie. And then when I was done writing it, I was like, where did this come from, you know? And I took a step back and I was like, nah, this is not just a normal Facebook post that I would normally write. And so I did pray about it. I prayed about it and told my brother about it, told my mom, like I told a bag of people about it and said, hey, like, what do you guys make of this? And they're like, you should go for it. You should really think more about that. So after praying about it and talking with my brother, you know, we brainstormed like that whole evening, brainstormed. And what I got from that at the end of that is I'm going to start writing. I'm going to start writing children's books for young Black girls, and to help them really see themselves and love themselves for who they are. You know what I mean? This wall over here is a representation of exactly what I'm trying to do. Let them see who they are for who they are, and not be so sidetracked about what society says and what society, you know, dictates as beauty or as femininity or anything like that. And so through these stories, you know, I'm really hoping that people will really see themselves. Young girls will really see themselves and feel empowered. So where does my inspiration come from? Comes from God, one, and two, it came from simply writing a Facebook post, and here we are today.
That's crazy. Not a lot of people can really find the vision and kind of clamp in like that. So my next question to you would be, you know, a lot of people have inspirations. A lot of people feel like, you know, it's something that they want to take. What was kind of this driving force, or what was the process for you like? Because it's not easy to go from vision and dream to have it, you know, where we are right now, releasing Me and My Hair. So what was the project like the process like for you?
So the process in the beginning, when I was like, okay, I'm going to write, I wrote one sentence and I stopped because I'm like, this sounds terrible. Like, it actually sounds terrible. I was like, I don't even know what I'm doing. Like, literally don't know what I'm doing. I started with the one sentence, I stopped. And then, you know what I did? I actually jumped online. The library actually has free courses online that you can take. And I saw one for children's stories. And I'm like, well, let me jump on that. It's COVID kind of thing. Let me see what I can learn. Maybe it might help me. So I jumped on that, did that, took notes, everything. That kind of gave me a little push. But honestly, for 4 months, I had nothing. Between October 2019, when I said I'm going to do this, to, you know, 4 months later, I was still in that part of like, I don't know, it sucks, it's not doing very well, right? But then, you know, again, here's where supporters come in. Here's where people that encourage you and push you along come in. I had my sister, my mom, my dad, again, family and friends that would call me and be like, so how's that book coming? And I'm like, what book? What book? No book is coming. There's nothing coming out of me, right? And so they were like, no, get on it, you know, go do it. And one thing my sister said, which actually pushed me, was just write. Don't think it has to be perfect right away. Just let it all out, you know? And that's exactly what I did. And when I started doing that, then the mojo started going, the juices started flowing. And before I knew it, there was like a book. And, you know, I went through the editing process, had some friends look over it and stuff like that. And, you know, I even found illustrators through a mutual friend in Nigeria. You know, shout out to Sanctuary Design Images. Oh, they did such a great job. They did a great job with the visuals. They got what I wanted. They captured what I really wanted to be portrayed, and that was the hair and the skin and things like that. And so the process wasn't easy at first, but with support, with encouragement, I really ended up persevering and getting through it. And I'm actually amazed at the fact that it actually happened, but it's a testament again to like God and how he just, pushes you in things sometimes that you didn't even think that you could do. Because I never thought I could do it. So I'm just happy that it's done and that other ones are going to be on the way. Woo-hoo.
That's dope. I love that. Steph, I found something there that I think that a lot of people would want to question for themselves, is that you had the vision. Right. You even talked about the process and everything going through that. Like, a lot of people, if they have a dream, like there's a lot of young Black girls that will be here that have a vision and they feel like they can't accomplish it. Mm-hmm. There's points where you would probably feel like, giving up. You told your parents were asking you what was happening. You said there was a 4-month span where things weren't really going on. What would you tell a young girl that has a dream, who has a vision, who's saying, you know what, I believe that this is the thing that I should go into. This is the thing that I should, undertake. Yeah. But I'm not sure. Like, I feel kind of defeated. I'm not sure. Like, what would be your encouragement to them? Like, keep going, or like, what would you say to them in that point where they're struggling and feel like,
And you know what? That's usually part of the process with visions, right? It's like a burden sometimes. It's right. Like, I really want to do it. I don't know how to do it. I don't necessarily have resources. And so you feel stuck. I think the first thing is to really itemize and see the importance of it. So for me, I had to weigh the fact of the impact on Black young girls versus just me feeling like, oh, I can't do it. Like, it's like a me versus them. And so my heart was, I really want these young Black girls to be impacted. Now my next step was, how do I do that? Wow. So if someone's vision is, I really want to help the homeless, right? They may not have a lot of money, but do you know how to make sandwiches at home? You know what I mean? You can start with a small corner at downtown, or you can start with a small corner at your street. It's as simple as making those necessary steps to figure out that, hey, this is bigger than me. It's about the impact versus how I'm feeling. Wow. And that for me is how I came out of myself, where it was like, I'm not trying to just think about me and how I feel. There's a greater good, a greater cause that needs awakening. I always knew that, even for example, I always knew that there wasn't a lot of children's books for Black characters and things like that. There wasn't a lot. But now that I'm in it, I'm realizing, oh my gosh, there's really not enough. Yeah. As a teacher, what books am I reading? And so I really wanted to fill that gap. I really wanted to get into that and say, no, we need to push past this. Even when I was doing the research, Kelton, it was like, whoa, do you know that there are more books created for white characters and animals before there are for Black natives, for, indigenous people, it's unreal, right? And so you really want to help fill that gap and allow, like, when your child is in school, to be able to have books that reflect them and that look like them. And so that's what drives me. And so when we think about anyone else who has a vision or a cause or a need to do something, you have to put yourself outside of it and see what would be the impact, though. That impact matters, right? And so I think that's the first step, taking yourself kind of out of the equation and seeing the need, and then thinking about what small steps could I make in order to, get to those big things. Wow. Yeah. Wow.
If that's any indication of Stephanie's heart, you kind of see where she's coming from. Very intelligent, very, into this project. And if there's anybody that really has a vision that's, that they can't do anything, I think she's a prime example of talking about not having the resources and so many things like that. So if you do have the dream, if you do see yourself as, Stephanie who starts with a vision and wants to get to a point, you're that little Black girl who hasn't seen it, I think this is the type of person you should go to, and a person, you should involve yourself in. I want everybody to go get the book. I think we're going to have that on the screen of where you can get the book. So if you could see it right there, all the places you can get the book. This is a book that you need to buy. Yes. All the little Black girls around the world need to have this book. Even if you're not a colored skinned girl, get this book, because I think it speaks to not only just skin colored, but to accepting yourself and believing in yourself and just being okay with you. Right? So if you're a person or a parent who believes that, my kid may be struggling with confidence or whatever it is, right? Just you can see the heart of the author, that the book is just going to speak to that as well. We're going to go to the next trivia question, so tune in.
How was your first day? It was good. The teachers were nice. I managed to blurt out before bolting to my room. I did not feel like talking about my day. It was horrible, and I just wanted to be alone. Tomorrow will be a better day, I thought. But it did not get better. It got worse. I was sitting at my desk and I could hear other kids chuckling behind me. One girl even tried to touch my hair. I heard them say, "What is going on with her hair? Is it supposed to look like that? Why is it sticking up like that?" I wanted to say something, but my lips became heavy and I could feel the tears filling up in my eyes. I said nothing. This happened every day, and for the first time in my life, I hated my hair. Every coil and every curl suddenly became my biggest enemy. I need to fix this, I thought to myself, so I started to think about different things I could do.
Thanks, Haley, for that amazing reading. Next, guys, we're going to have 4 hair stories. 4 different women, 4 different age groups, 4 different stories. Here they are.
When I think about some of my earliest hair experiences, my mind takes me back to the first day of kindergarten. I remember my mom had gotten someone to do my hair. It was braided up nice and fine, and I had gone to kindergarten, and I remember playing in this sandbox. And of course, the first thing I did was just take up the sand and I threw it in the air. And I remember the sand just landing everywhere, but I didn't put much thought to it. But that evening when I got home and my mom saw all the sand that was in my hair, I remember she was so upset. She started taking the brush and the comb and trying to get all the sand out from between the braids. And I remember her just being so upset and telling me, "Debbie, do not go back to the sandbox the next day." And what did I do? I didn't go. I just stood right beside it, and would you believe, another child went and threw it up in the air, and all that sand landed in my hair again for the second day. Of course I got in trouble, but I learned at a very early age, do not mess with my hair.
My earliest hair experience is when my mom combed my hair as a little girl, or baby. I do not remember at all, but I do remember when my mom used to come into the shower with me at swimming lessons, roll up her pants, her sleeves and everything, just to comb up my hair. Would also be the last one there.
The first time I got my hair relaxed, I was approximately 10 years old. And I remember my mom taking me to the salon and the stylist asking me, you know, is it burning? Are you okay? Tell me if it's burning right away, because they were very concerned. And I remember leaving the salon that day, walking back to our house and feeling the wind in my hair, feeling the sun on my scalp, and feeling so super confident, feeling complete as a young woman, and feeling absolutely beautiful. My hair stayed relaxed until 2016. So it was a very long journey of having relaxed hair.
My first experience with my hair was my mom would put in my extensions and I would cut them off, cut a little too high, cut off not all my hair, but I cut a significant amount of it. So that's why I was super interested in watching it grow back in the 7th grade, seeing how much I could help it grow. And from there, I've just blossomed into my own hair care genius.
I remember at that time we used to have to do phys ed, and part of phys ed was that we had to do a swimming component. And I remember going to the pool, wanting to keep my hair tied, putting the stocking cap on it, and you know, it never quite comes out right. And so just trying to navigate in the change room of getting my hair to stretch back out, and yeah, it was I just felt really, you know, ashamed and embarrassed about my hair. The folks around me didn't really understand natural hair. They'd wonder why my hair shrinks and why does it look like that. They'd touch my hair and ask me, you know, is it cottony, and just trying to figure it out. So for me, I just felt like there was a lot of shame, and I really wanted my hair to just be straight and long and look like everybody else's.
For my hair journey, it wasn't always easy being this confident with natural hair. There have been multiple times where I've been embarrassed, thought my hair was too short, or that my twist out wasn't twisted enough, or my braid outs didn't look as fluffy, or the volume. But it's all in your head. It's all in my head. I learned to accept that my hair isn't perfect, but the right products help. Just find what products work for you and your hair, and you will love it. You'll love it. I love my hair now. It's great. I think it suits me. It's my hair, and just love your natural hair. It's great. It's great.
So when I decided to lock my hair, I actually went to a salon, and I remember the process just being really, really awkward and painful. The person backcombed my hair and twisted it and interlocked it. And one of the reasons why I decided to choose that interlocking method was because I knew it wouldn't be undone. So in the previous years when I had tried to lock before I did the comb twist, and I found they were unraveling. And so when I decided to lock my hair, it was kind of like, this is it. It's done. You can't undo this. And I remember looking in the mirror and I almost wanted to cry, because there went my afro from being out here to me having these little beady locks on my head. And I remember thinking about it, and a lot of people were talking about, you know, growing through this ugly stage. And it was something that I wrestled with, because you never want to think of your own natural hair in its state as ugly. But it's something that I did battle with, something that I did struggle with, in terms of just really accepting my hair in its natural form and its beauty, and even as I transitioned into being someone with locks. So I would say that was a journey that was, you know, challenging and trying. But as I saw my hair starting to take its own set and my locks kind of maturing, I found that it's something that I've just loved. And now it's been over 10 years and I just can't think of myself without locks anymore. I just love it, and it's become part of me.
My first experience of taking care of natural hair was actually with my children. So when I had my first daughter in 2008, she didn't have much hair when she was born, but she grew hair. And I had to figure out very quickly how to take care of natural hair, what to do, what not to do, and what was going to be the best for her. And as a little black girl, I kind of resorted to what I thought were appropriate hairstyles for little black girls and what I wanted to have. And I kind of had that conversation with myself, knowing that I wanted her to have a good image about her hair. I didn't know what her texture was gonna be like, or how if it would grow, or if she would have issues with it, or if I would even know how to take care of it. But the first thing I did was I resorted back to hair products that I knew about growing up that my mom actually used in my hair. If I could describe the relationship with my hair in one word, I would use the word seasons. Because just like summer, winter, spring, and fall, my hair goes through its different changes, where products will work with it with one period of time, where another period of time certain products just will not work with my hair. And I will have to change my hair products just based on what's happening. So that's one word that I would use to describe my hair. It's very, very changing based on whatever mood it's in. So it kind of has a mind of its own.
Love. Because I love my hair. I love to do new hairstyles, the edges, my favorite part. Yeah.
Oh, one word. I would say free. Freedom. For myself now, in terms of the relationship I have with my hair in locks, I can wash and I can go. My hair can need a redo, and because it's locked and natural, I can just like flip it, throw a head tie on, and it just looks like it's brand new again. And so for me, it's been freeing. It's been freedom.
welcome back, everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed that video with the 4 different forms of representation of women in their hair. We're back with the author, Stephanie, and I want to get more questions. I want you guys to get to know her just a little bit more, right? So the first question that we're going to ask again is, what do you hope to achieve through your writing?
You know, some of the things I hope to achieve through the writing would be, you know, one, having more books with representation, for sure. In the classrooms, in people's homes, just having books with Black characters and allowing children, Black children specifically, to see themselves is super important. Right. They, you know, it gives them a sense of belonging, allows them to know that they are valued, that they are here, and we see you and your voice matters. Also, I would love for educators and facilitators to use the book as a tool. At the back of every book, there's a Making Connections page where I've provided questions and that they can basically use as a conversation piece, which is one of the foundations of the Rayne Project, is engaging in conversation so that, you know, young children can begin to own their identity and who they are. And so those are some of the aims that I'm really pushing for when I'm writing, that, you know, they see themselves, that, you know, educators can use it as a tool in their classroom, and yeah, that's just some of them that I really want to come out of it.
That's really dope. As everybody can kind of guess, writing a book is not easy.
Nope.
It's not easy at all. What advice would you give to somebody that wants to become the next Stephanie, the next author? What would you tell them if you were going to say, you know what, somebody's like, you know what, I want to be an author, I want to write a book, I want to be like the next Stephanie. What would you go ahead and tell them?
Firstly, I would tell them there's no next Stephanie. It's your next you. Whoever you are, it is your thing, right? And everyone brings, and sometimes I think that we forget that as a society, that everyone brings their own uniqueness to the world. And we don't want to cloud that by being a copycat, right? You want to bring your own individuality and your own identity, just like the Rayne Project kind of pushes, to the table, and really, you know, really searching yourself and figuring out who am I and what do I bring. So not the next Stephanie, so to speak, but really the next whoever you are. And I would also say that, you know, if there is a story, a concept, a world issue, whatever it is that you want to talk about, do it. Just do it. Like there's no it has to be this perfect way, or anything like that. You know, get it out on paper first and then work it, you know, pull out the skeletons. That's what I did. And by doing so, you don't know, I think the biggest thing for me is the impact. You don't know the impact it will have on a generation, on people. And so by doing it, you know, take yourself out of the equation and think about the bigger picture. Who is this for? Well, who am I trying to reach? What is this about? So really knowing what motivates you. The last thing I would say is get supporters. Even if it's one person or 2 people, you don't need a bag of supporters. You just need 1 or 2 that will kind of push you along and say, hey, did you write that book? Remember when you said you wanted to write that book? Remember? That they kind of keep pushing it in your mind. And then that will also help being a motivating factor for you. That's what literally helped me. That little person in the ear saying, didn't you say you were going to write? Didn't you say you were going to do this? And so I would definitely say get some supporters. 1 or 2, that's all you need.
That's really big. This is an important question for me because I do have a daughter. What would you tell a young girl that, you know, on top of reading the book, make sure you buy the book, that is kind of struggling with, you know, loving their hair and loving themselves? Like, what would you know, a word from the author, what would you tell them about loving their hair and loving themselves?
You know, a lot of people do go through it. Even in my high school days, I went through that whole phase of like, oh my gosh, I have nothing to do with my hair. You know, like, oh, like it was a struggle every day. I was complaining about it. But it really comes to, one, what you see. And so what are you looking at in terms of beauty standards? You know, what are you scrolling at? What are you viewing? If you're looking at a lot of Black girls, almost like what Rayne did in the story with the book that she was looking through, where she saw Black girls that were just like her, with hair like hers, and she noticed like, oh my gosh, this is actually not as bad as I thought. That looks pretty good. And so images plays a role. What you say to yourself plays a role, right? And we talk about affirmations and things that we say to ourselves. If you're waking up every morning saying I'm ugly, you're definitely going to feel like you're ugly. But if you wake up every morning and start talking about, like, I do love my hair. Yeah, some days are a little bit more rougher than others to get that hairstyle out. Cool. But I still love my hair. I still love my skin. I still love my body. I still love me as me. So a lot of it goes back to how you're thinking about yourself and how you're viewing who you are. That's super important. And then back again to your community. Who are you around? True. Are people telling you that you're ugly and that you don't measure up? Or are you around people that are applauding you and encouraging you in your uniqueness and individuality? And so those are, I think, a lot of the things that we have to think about when we're talking about building our identity. Those things are super important. The people you're around, the things that you say to yourself, the way you think about your stuff, and the things that you see. If you get those gates covered, you would start realizing now that you start owning who you are a little bit better than we were before.
That's amazing. I hope, you know, all the young girls hear that. And I know the book is special, but even just hear that from the author. My next question is going to be my final question, but I think it's very important. And I know this is, you know, this is a big undertaking. I know that you have high expectations. I know you're a very ambitious woman. Where do you see the Rayne Project 10 years from now? Future Stephanie, future Rayne Project, future Rayne. Where do you see it?
The Rayne Project in 10 years, folks, this is my vision, my back pocket right here. It is based on a series of children's books. So there will be a series of children's books. And there will be an animated movie. Animated movie like starring Rayne. I love that. You know, a black girl as the main character, not a side character, the main character. That's big. That's very big. And so that for me, like to have it on a stage where it's a movie, an animated film, Disney, if you're out there watching, Disney, get us right? You get in partnerships with those, the likes of Disney, you know, one of the big animators of our time. I definitely want to see Rayne in a movie, Rayne in cartoons, Rayne in stories, Rayne on your backpack, Rayne everywhere. I want to see Rayne everywhere. I really want her to, and you know what? It's not just about seeing her everywhere, seeing her at Disneyland and everything like that. It's really when you start to see her, that's how you know more of the impression is happening. True. That's when I know, wow, impact is happening. Right. And that for me is what the driving force about the Rayne Project is. You know what I mean? That's what drives me. It's not about the money, the dollar bills. It's not about all that. You know, that's a byproduct, but that's not all it's about. For me, it's about hearing black girls say, I do love my hair. Hearing black girls say, I do love my skin, regardless of the shade. And so that's my aim. And so if it's a movie, I know that will reach thousands, I mean, millions. So I'm excited about that. 10 years from now, maybe less, but I'm excited about that.
That's so big. That's so big. I hope you guys enjoyed this conversation that I was able to have with my good and close friend, Stephanie. As you can see, the questions that she answered, you get to really know the heart of Rayne and the heart of the Rayne Project, and know that this is not just like some people have these big money schemes that they try to do stuff just to get money. Stephanie's heart is really about making impact, and I think that's so important. So for all the little girls that are around that are struggling in any way with loving themselves or their hair, or families that are struggling with teaching that, get the Rayne Project. Get into the Rayne Project. Get into Me and My Hair. Connect with the author here, and I think that all of us will benefit from it, right? The next part that I want to talk about, because this was such a great interview, is I want to remind you guys that you can buy the book, and it's going to show up on the screen here where you can get the book. Please pick up this book, because I think it is necessary. I do have a daughter. I've already got my copy. I got a copy for my niece, and I might have to keep getting copies for nieces and godchildren and different things like that, because I think it's very important, right? We're going to get into more trivia, and then with the different questions that we have. So make sure that you guys do log in. I do want you guys to be into the contests that are happening, because you can receive those prizes, right? Remember the affirmation shirt, the signed book, and the mask. So please make sure that you guys are getting into that. The next thing that we're going to have, and I know that a lot of people will be excited because we do love music and singing, we're going to have Omar Lunan, all right? So I'm going to quickly read his bio to you guys, and then after that, after I read the bio, you'll hear the voice of Omar Lunan. So Omar is from a humble beginning at his parents' record store in West Toronto's Little Jamaica community to performing on Sesame Street as a child. Omar Lunan has married his cultural roots and Toronto City savvy to his heartfelt, vibrant performances, and is set to make his mark on the recording industry. Omar, along with the group he was in at the time, has toured across Canada with acts such as Usher, 50 Cent, Foxy Brown, Genuine, 98 Degrees, and Canadian talent Cardinal Official. Glenn Lewis, Sean Desmond, and Masari. He has received 2 Juno nominations, a Canadian Urban Music Award, 3 compilations, and an album, Depth, Sweat, and Tears. He also garnered top 16 success on the final season of Canadian Idol, one of the only contestants earning a standing ovation for his unique vocal arrangement of Ain't No Sunshine. Omar continues to display surprising depth in songwriting and vocal range in R&B, traditional reggae, and even dancehall, with an instantly memorable voice and performance savvy. Omar, alongside Toronto's coveted musicians, the Recipe Band, has traveled internationally and as a unit shared the stage with artists such as Tank, Brandy Norwood, and Maya, while being called to perform for citywide events with established corporate companies such as Toronto's Harbourfront Centre and Union Station. Aside from penning his hits for other music makers, Omar currently recording his first solo EP with Toronto's own Byram Beatchild Joseph. The singer-songwriter hopes to debut the 5-song project in 2021 and promote in conjunction with its release. So, I know I didn't do that justice with the bio, but hopefully, through his voice, you can see the talent that is Omar Lunan.
So this is a song to remind every single one of you, especially the black girls, that you are capable, you are intelligent, you are beautiful, you are worthy. I know exactly what you're thinking. I've had those thoughts a million times. I can see the question that's behind your eyes. Oh, you're searching for your peace of mind. Now listen up to this truth. You are me and I am you. Every one of you is worthy. Baby, girl, worthy woman, every one of you is worthy. Baby, girl, worthy woman, every one of you is worthy. Know your life, I felt your pain. I know your joys and your shames. Sometimes it feels like life walks over you, oh, like you're a penny on the ground. Either on the ground or in your purse, every piece has its worth. Every one of you is worthy. Baby, girl, worthy woman, every one of you is worthy. Baby, girl, worthy woman, every one of you is worthy. Worthy of love, worthy of life, worthy of saying no when something don't feel right. This is a song for you, for all the ups and downs that life will put you through. Oh, listen up to this truth. You are me and I am you. Every one of you is worthy. Baby, girl, worthy woman, every one of you is worthy. Baby, girl, worthy woman, every one of you is worthy. Every one of you is worthy. Every one of you is worthy. Every one of you is worthy.
Thank you so much, Omar. Honestly, I love your voice. One of the best talents in Toronto by far. Now that we've heard from Omar, we're going to move into our Black Girl Tribute. This is simply a quick video on Black girls, young and old, a great representation of who we are. Just a reminder that we are valued, that we are loved, and that, you know what, we belong here. So please enjoy this Black Girl Tribute.
You are smart, beautiful, an overcomer, courageous, successful, brave, unique, funny, bold, tenacious, kind, resilient, confident, creative, innovative, wise, vibrant, valuable, strong, loving, ambitious, caring, hardworking, intuitive, purposeful, educated, determined, gifted, dedicated. You are a Black girl.
If you're still here, thank you so much for tuning in with us tonight. I am so grateful to every person that is here that contributed along the way, every supporter, every person that said one encouraging word throughout this experience. I thank you. I do want to say a special thank you to my mom, my dad, my brother, my sisters, my aunties, my uncles, everybody, everyone that was around, everyone that supported. I am just so happy that you are here. And remember to tell someone about me and my hair. Tell somebody about the Rayne Project, okay? Again, thank you for being here. Have a great night. Bye.